I'm sure by now most of you have seen the conflicting reports about President Ruto's visit to Japan. Now, the debate is whether the visit is a state visit or an official visit. According to State House spokesperson Hussein Mohammed, the visit's a state visit, right? Now, according to the official Japan embassy website, they term the visit as an official visit. So which is which? Who's confusing us between the two, and what's the difference? Well, let me enlighten you. So, a state visit in diplomatic terms is considered the highest form of diplomatic engagement between two countries. Normally, they are reserved for visits by heads of state, such as presidents, monarchs, or prime ministers, and these are preceded by invitations from the host country. The host president accords the guest with the highest level of hospitality, including the playing of the national anthems and inspection of the guard of honor. So, I'm talking five-star treatment. Ruto has been accompanied to Japan by a team of 10 delegates or less, and his expenditure will be catered for by the Japanese government. Now, on this other hand, an official visit is a tour to another country by various dignitaries, not just heads of state. So it can involve government officials, ministers, or other representatives. Now, the official is usually accompanied by a team of at least 6 people, and they may or may not be accorded some honors. While state visits are typically hosted by heads of state, official visits may be hosted by various officials depending on the level of the visiting dignitary. So this means that it could be hosted by a head of state, a head of government, or any other ranking official, depending on the circumstances. In terms of purpose, state visits are more serious with comprehensive agenda, while official visits may be more focused on specific aspects of diplomatic relations. Now, aside from this Japan story, let me give you 3 other countries where both President Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta have been, but on different visits. This is just like for more context. So one, we have China. So while both have been to China, Uhuru has been on a state visit, while Ruto has only been to China on official visit for the Third Belt and Road Initiative Summit. 2, we have Germany. Now, Uhuru has been on a couple of state visits, while Ruto has only been on official visits for the G20 Compact with Africa Summit and the 9th Berlin Energy Transition Dialogue. Lastly, we have the US. Now, we know Uhuru has been to the US for a number of state visits. We've seen him with Trump, but Ruto has only been on official visits for the 77th and 78th sessions of the United Nations General Assembly, as well as the US Leaders Africa Summit. This is not the first time communication within the government has caused a bit of confusion. Now, if you remember last year, the Kenya Met Director was forced to apologize to Kenyans over the confusion on whether there would be El Nino rains in the country or not. Additionally, we have the Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Principal Secretary, Roselyn Jogu, who also issued a public apology following the release of a Gazette notice that reported that fees for the processing of permanent residences for children of Kenyan citizens born outside the country had increased to 1 million. Now, she said this was an error. Safe to say, the government needs to give us clarity next time on what's what, right? Let me know in the comments.